Hello, my name is Ashley Ranney. I'm a program development specialist with the Department of Economic Security. I have an extensive background in early childhood education. I taught in the public school system for 17 years, with 10 of those years specifically in an inclusion preschool. I also know what it feels like to have a passion for making positive changes in the lives of children and families, being an integral part of a child's irreplaceable first years of development. I know firsthand the pressure of our changing world in regards to caring for children. While teaching during the pandemic, I observed a significant increase in challenging behaviors and felt the workforce shortage. Through positive relationships with families, meeting children where they are developmentally, and providing a safe and nurturing environment so children can remain in care and thrive is our collective goal. Preventing childcare expulsion. The importance of quality childcare. Overview. The Federal Child Care and Development Fund provides funding to states and tribal nations to support children and their families with paying for childcare and to improve the quality of childcare to promote children's healthy development and learning. States are required to implement policy and resources to reduce suspension and expulsion in early childhood settings and promote children's social, emotional development and mental health. The Department of Economic Security is committed to supporting children, families, and child care providers with resources and support that are essential to ensuring access to quality child care for all children. DES provides assistance through education, training, and support for families and child care providers to help them identify issues that may lead to the suspension or expulsion of children in care. Reaching out for support at the first sign of developmental or behavioral concern is a critical first step in preventing expulsion in a child care setting. Children come to the classroom with various backgrounds and at different learning stages. As an educator, it is important to look at the child as a whole. While challenging behaviors are frustrating, help is available. Educators can reach out to AZ Steps at the first sign of developmental concerns and challenging behaviors. It is never too soon to ask for help. You may be thinking, preschoolers cannot be expelled. I would never expel a child. Or expulsion is something that only happens with school-age children. But expulsion and suspension can be any of the following in a child care environment. Removing a child from activities that include other children, removing in the short term or limiting the time a child attends the program, dismissing a child permanently, encouraging families to voluntarily terminate services, limiting other services on the basis of challenging behavior. For example, denying outdoor time, not allowing participation in certain activities, withholding food, and using food as a reward or punishment. What is expulsion? Expulsion is the permanent dismissal of a child from a program due to behaviors that have been identified by a child care provider as challenging or unsafe. Why is expulsion prevention important? A child's early years set the trajectory for relationships and successes they will experience for the rest of their lives, making it crucial their earliest experiences truly foster and never harm their development. High-quality early childhood programs provide the positive experiences that nurture positive learning and development of children. Understanding the impact of suspension and expulsion on children and the importance of children having access to high-quality environments, DES promotes the prevention of suspension and expulsion through a comprehensive approach that includes policy, supports for the workforce, and direct intervention. What is Arizona's suspension and expulsion policy? Arizona's suspension and expulsion prevention policy is in effect for all certified child care home providers and licensed centers and group homes contracted with DES to serve children authorized for child care assistance. Highlights of the policy include required training for all child care providers and staff within the first 90 days of hire with access to technical assistance to support programs at the first signs of a need for help. Requirement to have a program-specific expulsion policy that must include suspension and expulsion prevention language in the provider's internal policy and procedures. Child care providers contracted with DES are required to collaborate with the Arizona Statewide Training and Technical Assistance for Expulsion Prevention, AZ Steps, resource consultants, and mental health consultants to prevent suspension or expulsion. Provide AZ Steps preschool suspension and expulsion support for families flyer to parents and/or guardians upon enrollment. Obtain a completed About Me questionnaire signed by each parent and/or guardian. This may seem like just another step, but when utilized properly, the About Me questionnaire can provide you with instant insight and an opportunity to connect with a child you've never met. When you learn about their home life, birth and development challenges, likes and dislikes, fears, how they experience joy, it not only serves as a guide to be able to build trust with that child, but it gives you the compassion and understanding to meet them where they are developmentally and emotionally. The most important thing you can do to support a child is build a relationship with them where they feel safe and loved. Supporting the childcare workforce, training and technical assistance, direct intervention, AZ Steps. The Arizona Statewide Training and Technical Assistance for Expulsion Prevention, AZ Steps, provides support to families, childcare providers, and administrators working together to prevent disruption of care through on-site and/or virtual technical assistance. The service is implemented in a tiered intervention model that includes access to mental health consultation and inclusion specialists. The service also includes assistance on how to follow and be in compliance with the Arizona Suspension and Expulsion Prevention Policy. The AZ Steps support request is available online and can be submitted by anyone who needs support, including childcare providers, families, and representatives of other state agencies. Online trainings are available that cover behavior, trauma, and social-emotional development for families and caregivers. Resources and supports to help prevent expulsion from happening in the first place by working with parents and childcare providers to promote a child's success. Mental health consultations for families, teachers, and administrators to help meet the needs of the child. Collaborate upfront. Participate in a collaboration meeting and develop an action plan if deemed necessary by the AZ Steps resource consultant. Action Plan CCA-1276A. Continue collaboration with all parties listed in the expulsion prevention policy. Maintain communication with the parent or guardian and AZ Steps resource consultant. Communicate and collaborate. You are a team with these families. The more you communicate and collaborate with parents, resource consultants, and teachers, the more success is possible. Collaborating with the parent or guardian promotes the child's development, identifies and addresses any physical, cognitive, speech, social, emotional, or behavioral health needs that may arise in the child care setting. Identify and communicate positive outcomes, roadblocks, and collaborate to problem solve how to move forward to best support child's education, health, and development. I cannot stress this enough. The first sign you experience the need for support, please reach out to AZ Steps. Being proactive is the best way to get resources and supports in effect at the beginning stages to prevent escalation and, in turn, keep the child enrolled. Methods to address challenging behavior and eliminate the need for expulsion. Develop and clearly communicate preventative guidance and discipline practices that integrate what you have learned from this training and best practices supporting child development. Providing specific guidance on what teachers and programs will do when presented with challenging behaviors, including specific teacher and staff responses, communication with families and caregivers to strengthen family partnerships and provide children and families with social, emotional, and behavioral support. Develop and clearly communicate suspension and expulsion prevention policies. A sample policy is provided by DES to support the creation of an internal policy and procedure. Child Care Provider Expulsion Prevention Policy, CCA-1277A. Ensure that the early childhood workforce is adequately trained, supported, and prepared to help all children excel. All child care staff who have taken this training are encouraged to submit a technical assistance request to AZ Steps, and you can also register and attend additional trainings provided through the Expulsion Prevention Training Series. The professional development and support of AZ Steps can support the common goal of helping children thrive and be successful. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to this work. I like to think of this analogy when I put myself in the shoes of a parent whose child needs extra support to be successful. If I were to go to the doctor to seek medical attention, would I want to go to a doctor who only tries one thing and then gives up if it doesn't work? Or would I want to choose a doctor who will adapt and continue various different treatments until there is an improvement? Of course I would choose the latter, because that is best practice and has the most likelihood of success. The same goes for our work in childcare. We must do our part to try every possibility to help give our children the tools to support their development and learning. Thank you for the important role you play in the lives of the children you serve. You make an incredible difference every day. Please know there are supports available to you when there are challenging times, and working together, we can help children remain in care and thrive. Submit a support request by completing an Arizona Suspension and Expulsion Support Request form through the state's Child Care Resource and Referral by either calling 1-800-308-9000 or visiting www.azccrr.com. How to reach someone at DES for help. Contact the Program Development Unit via email at cca programdevelopmentunit@azdes.gov or call the Program Development Unit mainline at 480-298-7525. You can also email DES Expulsion Prevention at desexpulsionprevention@azdes.gov.